Live at 5. Okay, let's wait a little bit. All right, look. All right, y'all. Go ahead and drop some comments in the comment section to let us know that we are live, baby. Wait for it. I'm waiting on the cue, y'all. I'm waiting on y'all cue to let us know that we live. Comment, say hello. So we get started. I see we have 7 people watching so far. Okay, so y'all gonna be silent today. That's cool. All right, we'll take it. All right, T. Welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope more people are going to trickle in soon. Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, who's ever watching. Today, y'all know that I told y'all when I started this little talk show, let's be real with TheDawn Elizabeth. I want to give y'all information, good talks, stuff to help y'all progress along your journey and feel like we are all in this together, because we are. Like, we all are on the journey together. So I just got some hellos. So please, we live.
We are live at 5.
Make sure I don't call you that on camera. Okay. Anyways, so to bring on into this episode 2, we're gonna be talking everything nutrition. So with that being said, I want to introduce y'all to one of my bestest friends, Laci Baker.
Woo.
Bio, y'all. Laci Baker graduated from the University of Texas at Austin last May with a degree in exercise science. She is currently pursuing her master's in clinical nutrition at UT Southwestern Medical Center. After graduating, Laci plans to become a registered dietitian and have her own private practice. She's most passionate about sports nutrition, eating disorders, and nutrition for wellness. So what better person to bring on the shizzo than Lil Lace? Okay, so y'all, make sure y'all have y'all questions. We have a couple of things that we're going to talk about. Make sure y'all have y'all questions. Make sure y'all have some pen and pad. Let's write things down. And literally, I want y'all to take as much from this conversation as possible. And I'm going to be quiet because we're going to let Laci take the floor. First of all, thank you, Laci, for joining us, my girl. So let's let you take the floor.
Love being here. I always love talking about nutrition and helping everybody in their weight loss goals, nutrition goals, whatever they have in mind. And I know there's a lot of confusing information about out there, especially with the rise of like these health and influencers and things like that. So I just really love to come on these kind of platforms and set the record straight.
Set it straight, my girl. All right, so let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get right into it. All right, first question, Lil Ace. What are some of the most popular fad diets, and why would you consider them fad diets?
Alrighty. Well, first off, by definition, well, there's not really any single definition for a fad diet, but a fad diet can kind of be thought of as a diet that becomes popular for a very short period of time, just like fashion fads, without being like the standard dietary recommendations. And they often make very unreasonable claims for fast weight loss or health improvement. So a couple examples of these fad diets would be the South Beach diet, Atkins, the cabbage soup diet. Some of these ones I'm naming are a little bit outdated, but they were really big back in like the early 2000s, the 90s, all of that good stuff. The grapefruit diet, and one that has become very popular over the last couple of years, the ketogenic diet. So a few ways to spot a fad diet is if the claims are too good to be true, if the recommendations promise a quick fix, if it's a simplistic conclusion to a very complex study. And another really big thing is if they list good and bad foods, which in the whole sphere of nutrition, there is no good or bad food. You know, everything is fine in moderation. Nothing should be labeled as good or bad or black and white, because nutrition is so much more complex than that.
Okay, look at you know what? That's why we bring people with credentials. You know, that's what we do with credentials. So, I had one of the diets that you named that I had never heard of, the South Beach diet. Can we talk a little bit about that one? I know it's old, but if you know a little bit about that, since it's old, what would you consider? What is the South Beach diet?
So the South Beach diet, it was a popular fad back in like the early 2000s. And so it was emphasized eating foods with a low glycemic index and categorized carbohydrates and fats as good or bad. So we kind of see that. So it was emphasized eating foods with a low glycemic. Lord,
So recorded.
Another tab just popped up
Okay.
with the actual stream. But yeah, it would emphasize good or bad foods, which that you should really look out for whenever you're looking at these diets, because there are no good or bad foods. And when these diets try to pit these foods against each other and make you think, oh, I can eat all of this and I can't eat any of this, that's when it becomes unrealistic and unsustainable.
Got it. I definitely can relate to that. So the most popular one, which I know everybody's waiting to talk about, the most popular one, which we have had, like based on like my audience, I have had a lot of people that were successful. You know, I guess like it's different stances when it comes to this like this fad diet. I would relate it as a fad diet, but for for other people, it has been helpful in a tool with speeding up that weight loss. So
Mhm.
let's talk about the keto diet.
Oh, keto.
So let's talk about it. So let's talk about like what happens when your body goes like, give it to us, please.
Okay, so a common theme that we'll see in these fad diets is that the influencers are the biggest people that are pushing these diets. They'll take a fact that is scientifically true, like the basis of it is scientifically true. When your body is starved of carbohydrates, which are the primary and preferred energy source for your body, brain, organs, all of that good stuff, when it's starved of those carbohydrates, it's going to find another energy system to get that energy from, especially your central nervous system, because that's what needs the most energy. So technically, I mean, it is true. When you starve your body of carbohydrates, it's going to go to fat as a primary fuel source. But people hear that and think, oh, I'm going to burn fat, I'm going to lose weight, blah, 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 which is true. You will, since you are switching energies and being on these diets, you're going to eat in a lower calorie deficit. You're going to eat in a calorie deficit.
Which is the basis of
which,
weight loss.
which is the
Yeah.
basis of weight loss. But when people get on these ketogenic diets, so what physiologically happens is after a couple days of being on this carbohydrate starved diet, your body looks for another energy system, and it was going to go to fat, so to fat and protein metabolic systems. And so what happens is your body is starved of the glucose, and so it looks for something else. And so it turns to making ketone bodies out of fatty acids. Now, when you think, oh, fatty acids, I'm burning fat, not necessarily. That's not necessarily what's happening right now. So your body, I'm kind of repeating myself, but it's really really the main thing is you're going into ketosis, which is something that's not supposed to happen. Your body is not meant to be in ketosis. In any other aspect, if you were to be brought into the hospital on ketosis, they're going to do everything they can to get you back regular, to get you back into eating carbohydrates and getting that fuel source back. Prolonged energy production and energy use of ketones can lead to a lot worse than good. It will be a lot worse than good. So with these diets, on these diets, people don't kind of understand that you're who is she? People don't understand that by not eating carbohydrates, you're eating more fat, you're eating more protein, which is kind of counterproductive. And then this increase in saturated fats is going to cause increased risk of cardiovascular disease, as well as this protein metabolism is going to cause higher nitrogen excretion in your kidneys, which is going to be really bad in the long run, as well as your brain is not meant to be using ketone bodies. So you're going to experience decreased cognitive function. You're going to be really forgetful. You're going to be tired. It just does a lot more harm than good at the end of the day. And yes, it does. It will. I'm not even going to lie. It will give you that big weight loss very quickly, but it's not sustainable, and it's not going to be good for you in the long run.
Yeah, so I think that's really what I could like. I have never done keto, but I think one thing that makes me like as a person figure out as a fad diet is because long term I feel like most people want to have a low carb intake. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's like basically saying like, okay, you could go this amount of time, like lose all that weight, but it's like in your mind and with your lifestyle, if you don't continue to stick to it, the weight will come back faster than it left. So that's the only reason why I experience, just because like just with my experiences, trying to find something that I know I could stay with for a long time. Like that's something that makes sense to me, makes sense to my body. So, I love me a little pasta, a little bread. We love a little taco, Laci. We love a little taco.
I know. I love me a little Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, so we don't want to have to take that away from it. Okay, so
Mhm.
I see you mentioned that like how long term with your body being in ketosis could do more harm than good. So like we said, y'all, we're not saying that we necessarily are against the keto diet. We just want to give y'all some information on like what your body's going through, because I feel like sometimes people take that quick fix over like long-term good health. And that's something that we want to avoid. Like, yeah, we want to look good, we want to feel good, want to look good, but we also want to make sure we putting our health first when it comes to like our body and what we want, just period. Okay. So next big topic, detoxes. Let's talk about detoxes, because me and Laci talk about this a lot, y'all. We talk about detoxes a lot because I tell her like, "Oh, girl, I'm about to go take a detox," and she goes, "Done. Why you detoxing?" And usually, I can say like a year back during the pandemic, I detoxed so much. So when I be saying I'm kind of against detox, I'm not necessarily against it, but I try to stay away from it. It's because I've experienced it. I use myself as my own little guinea pig when it comes to like providing experiences. So let's talk about detoxes and tell them why they don't need to be spending all their money on these detox teas.
All right, y'all. Please do not believe these influencers when they tell you that you have 50 pounds of poop sitting in your stomach. I know Dawn just recently shared it on her story, and I ended up sharing it on my Instagram story as well, of this fitness influencer who said you don't need a trainer for the first 50 pounds because you have 50 pounds of poo sitting in your stomach that just needs to come out. And so drink this detox tea and
get it out.
And you'll lose 50 pounds. Let's not do that. Please don't do that. Number one, you're not going to have 50 pounds of poo sitting in your stomach unless you just have not had a bowel movement in years. That's simply not the case. With these detoxes and these flat tummy teas and all this different stuff, they're basically liquid laxatives. If you really just kind of look at it, they're liquid laxatives. And long-term frequent use of these laxatives can cause you GI distress, extreme dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, and it's just not going to feel good. You're just not going to feel good, especially because it's moving all of this food and all of everything that you're eating through your body so quickly. Your intestines and digestive system are not going to be able to absorb all of the minerals, nutrients that you need, and it's just getting it through there, just getting it out of there, which is going to cause an electrolyte imbalance. And it's easy to overlook the things that we don't see, because most of the time when we think about nutrition, when we think about what we're eating and weight loss, we think of calories, carbohydrates, fat, protein, the big macronutrients and the big things that we see plastered on the labels, but we don't really look at the calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium. We don't look at all of those smaller things that when we're in a deficit of them can cause us major problems and can be an underlying effect or an underlying cause for a lot of other problems. So these teas are just not a good idea in general. And not to mention the misuse of laxatives, which is technically what these detox teas are, can be the basis of an eating disorder. So it's very complex, very it's a lot that goes into it. When our body, as long as you have a working liver, this is what I tell people all the time, as long as you have a working liver, you don't need these detoxes because your body does it for you already.
Agreed. I can definitely say that because, like, I know a lot of people. I say people all the time, like, when you go buy these detoxes, you basically like losing and regaining the same 10 pounds over and over again. You do a detox and then you boo boo everything out. I want to say the S word so bad. You boo boo everything out, right? And then you go back eating. You kind of go back to eating the same way, and then next thing you know, the same 10 pounds come right back, and then you take another detox. And literally, like, I feel like with stuff like this, for motivational purpose, it could be something to boost your weight loss journey. Like something to give you a little motivation. Like, oh, okay, let me get a little detox in, and then keep on moving. Blase, blase. But I feel like it should not be the basis of your weight loss. Like, don't rely on it, because like you'll spend so much money on the detox teas and stuff like that when you really could just go to the grocery store and buy some good food and just do, a regular regimen. So that's why I want Laci to come tell y'all about the detoxes, because I want y'all to just know that our bodies are functioning to help us. So when you speed that process up, baby, it just misses a lot of stuff up.
Yeah. Your body wants to stay in homeostasis. It's going to do everything it can to stay in homeostasis. That's why our liver, which is the master detoxifier in our body, does what it does. Its primary function is to filter out those toxins so that you can have a normal metabolism. Our kidneys filter out toxins from medications. Our body, the digestive tract, gets things out of our food and excretes them through poo. Like, our body is already working to detox ourselves. And Kayla C brought up a great point and said even the herbal tea detox. And a lot of these influencers and detox companies will market them as herbal to make it sound better and to make it sound, oh, this is natural. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently saw a patient who, believed in all of the herbal things and was taking like 22 herbal supplements a day and ended up in the hospital fighting for his life. So just because it's herbal or it says that it's natural, organic, all of that doesn't necessarily mean that it's better for you, especially when it's a detox that's being pushed.
Got it. Okay. So next question, which I know we can open up the floor for everybody to talk about, is so for you, since you kind of focus on like longevity for like towards nutrition, it's all about like the lifestyle change, like being able to stick to it long term, doing what's better for your body. And so I want you to provide us with some effective weight loss tips. Like, what would be some effective weight loss tips that you would give?
All right, this is my favorite thing to talk about because I love helping people get trim, slim, whatever their body goal is, the right way and the most healthy way possible. So long-lasting weight loss is going to come from sustainable calorie deficit. So finding ways to be in that calorie deficit that are sustainable for you. And a really important thing to remember is what works for you may not work for the other person.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about knowing yourself, knowing what you can do, what you can eat, and then working from there. And then consistent physical activity. I really recommend for my patients and clients 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity a week. Really getting out there, really putting your best foot forward, working up a sweat consistently. And I'm going to keep saying consistently. Okay. I have clients and patients. I have both of them with my rotations and whatnot. But being consistent with it is really what's going to get you the farthest. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be perfect every single day. You don't have to be perfect every single day. You're going to mess up. That happens, whatever. If you eat too much one day, just get back on the horse and try it again the next day. It's all about keeping that best foot forward and having some behavioral modifications, knowing that you can do it, making those changes and being determined to do it. That's going to get you the farthest.
Thank you. So another thing that we was talking about the other day is people like always kind of copping for the sugar free, because I think I kind of went in a phase of that too, like going for everything and to be like low carb this or low sugar this, sugar free this. So I want you to kind of provide like why sometimes it's better to just kind of go with the regular brand instead of the sugar free brand. Tell us a little bit about that.
So with the sugar-free brands, whenever they market something as sugar-free, most of the time there is still going to be sugar in it. But it'll be a sugar alcohol, which technically isn't a sugar, but it still kind of has that sweetening kind of agent that gives you that sweetness and gives you that flavor without actual like cane sugar. So these sugar alcohols, they're not necessarily harmful for the most part. They just kind of have a laxative effect if you eat too much of it. So just be careful with those. Be careful. Make sure you look at your label. If you see something with the OL at the end, it's more than likely a sugar alcohol. So just be cognizant of that because they can cause very bad diarrhea. I've seen it happen. It can have very bad diarrhea, and then it can kind of go up into the detox category where you're constantly just pushing it out, getting it out through your system, and it's not, all the nutrients aren't really being absorbed. But I would just say, instead of always looking for like the sugar-free, the, this, that, and the third, like all these different modifications, definitely just be cognizant of, okay, this has X amount of calories. I'm trying to stay in this calorie range. Oh, this looks good in fiber. Looking for foods that have fiber will definitely be a great cheat code for you, because fiber will not only slow down that gastric emptying process, which will keep you fuller longer, it's also really good for you. And it has a lot of good health benefits for you.
Yeah, like fiber.
I know me and Dawn have talked about fiber a lot.
Cause and then like a lot of people that be saying like they're not getting enough fiber, and then they try to go find everything with fiber, and you don't want to kind of jump too far, and then you want to like ease your way into like intake of fiber. And you can get that from a lot of different things, fiber as well.
And another great thing to do is to start your meals off with something that's high fiber and a protein, because fiber and protein at the beginning of your meal will definitely increase your satiety, and it will keep you fuller longer. So that's definitely something that you will want to look for. But also don't just try to limit yourself a whole lot, because when you limit yourself, it's going to make you go even crazier once you get off of it. Baby steps, just baby steps. Finding foods that are healthy and that you like are the biggest things, because I know I have people all the time, with some of the people that I see, they'll be like, oh, I know I should eat avocado because it's good for me, but I just don't like avocado. And I'm like, don't eat it then. Like, just don't eat it then. Like, you don't have to eat things just necessarily just because they're healthy. If you like it, incorporate more of it. If it's healthy and you like it, incorporate more of it. Learn yourself and learn what you like. And you don't have to necessarily always try to find the healthier option or something that is deemed healthier that you just don't like, because that's not going to be sustainable. It's all about finding foods that you like, that are healthy, and that you can continuously eat. And you never know, trying new things, you never know what you might like. So it's all about being open-minded and figuring yourself out and knowing what you can do.
Yes, love that. I definitely can say that too, though, because like it'll be times where like I'm a picky eater, and y'all don't know how many times I have tried to convince Laci to eat avocado, and she just like, no.
I personally, I love to try to eat as healthy as I possibly can, but I just do not like avocado, and I'm not going to force myself to eat avocado. I know I like spinach, so I'm going to stick to spinach. I know I like broccoli. I know I like salmon. I'm going to stick to those if I really like it. So it's really just all about finding yourself, and you can't base your journey or base your eating or anything else off of somebody else.
Oh yeah,
it's all about what you can do, because at the end of the day, this is your journey and not anybody else's.
I think that is so good. Let me tell y'all, anytime I be having like a little, I get like a little off track, I always call Laci, because I know like she's in school, she's working with people who's dealing with different things, she's learning a lot, and I feel like it's always good to just have somebody to be able to provide information, especially when you're going to school for, just to give information, because it's like you see it in the textbooks, and then to deal with it with different people with different experiences. And I feel like that's good to share, that we are all different. So when I get on my YouTube and I share my what I eat in a days, I'm literally just giving you guys ideas. It's not for you to be like, okay, copy this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like if I have a couple of clients that's having troubles with hitting protein, I say, okay, here are some things that I try to hit my protein, and try it out and see what works for you. Like I literally don't try to make people try to follow something exact. Like anytime I was given, like somebody gave me a meal plan, I'm like, nah, this ain't it. Because it's like it's just like, for me, I'm so stuck on this sustainable. I know like we in the business world where everybody's pushing fast weight loss, everybody's pushing like quick.
Everybody's pushing the next quick fix. And to be honest, there is no quick fix, especially when it comes to weight loss. Please, please, please do not believe these influencers when they say, oh, this drinking grapefruit juice before you eat is going to burn so many calories, or, not eating this major food group. Let me tell y'all, if a diet encourages you to cut out a whole macronutrient, whether it be fat, protein, carbohydrates, do not listen to it, because they are not micro, macronutrients for a reason. Your body needs them in large quantities, even fat. I know fat gets a bad rap, but you definitely still do need fat for literally anything that you're going to do.
Exactly. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open the floor for questions.
I already see a really good question
Okay.
from
You
Laquisha.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was wondering, so for everybody else, I was wondering, do you think it's better to eat 3 meals a day with snacks or the intermediate fasting? Great question. Especially with the rise of intermediate fasting, a lot of people want to know this. It is a lot better for weight loss and just general health if you eat throughout the day. If you eat small meals throughout the day, or, the 3 meals a day with snacks in between. That's the best thing to do. That keeps your blood glucose up. It keeps your metabolism moving, and it just keeps you satiated so that whenever you actually do eat the next meal, you're not overdoing it and eating a whole bunch because you haven't eaten since, God knows when.
That's what I do. I overdo it sometimes, baby.
Yes, I know. Trust me, especially when I'm like on my rotations and I'm at the hospital or, wherever else, and I like skip lunch or don't eat breakfast, I go ham on the next meal. So eating throughout the day is the best for not only weight loss, but just for general health.
Just so because I know me, baby. If I like 7, I always try to eat before I'm hungry, which I don't know. I always try to eat before I'm hungry. I never try to eat like on the you never want to wait till you literally hungry to start eating, because when, like how they be saying, you never supposed to go to the grocery store when you're hungry. You'll pick up everything. So I always tell people try to kind of, you don't have to necessarily put yourself on a schedule, but you can feel when your body about to get hungry. Like you can look at time frames, be like, okay, usually this around the time when I'm getting hungry. Or even if you're busy, if you have something quick to grab and eat, that way you don't get to a point where you literally starve yourself throughout the whole day. When you sit down, you eat up everything. Because trust me, baby, done and did. I'll eat up everything. I eat my plate. Laci don't really leave nothing on the plate for me to eat some of hers. But if anybody,
I'm clean my plate. I'm a part of the clean plate club. But no, definitely, I always like to encourage intuitive eating. And if anybody knows what that is, intuitive eating is just listening to your body, eating according to your hunger cues, not necessarily sticking to a certain time schedule. Eat when you start to feel hungry, and stop when you feel full. Listen to your body, eat according to those cues.
Okay, so somebody said, what are your intake on protein bars and powders? You don't really drink protein?
I usually only do protein shakes after I work out. That's usually the only time that I actually do that. Supplementation is fine. Like, if you want to do protein bars, protein powder to get your protein intake for the day, perfectly fine. But really do try to get it from your food, because whenever you just try to rely on supplements, they're usually only giving you one kind of something. Like if you take a fiber supplement, it's just usually going to be insoluble or just soluble, as opposed to insoluble or soluble that you would find naturally in foods. And also with protein, sometimes it'll just be, whey or casein, when in some cases, in some foods, you can get both of those. So just be cognizant of that and just try to stick to natural foods. But I mean, protein bars and protein powders, I see no problem with it, especially if you're active and you work out pretty often. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, use it. I definitely I kind of lean towards, I used to do protein bars and protein shakes a lot, but now I try to mostly get most of my stuff from food. And then if I come up a little short here and there, then you could just add those in. But as far as people who are on the go, if you don't have time to stop and eat chicken breast and rice, your typical prep meal, go ahead and grab your protein shake, protein bar, so you can get those macronutrients in. So I think this is a good question right here. You kind of mentioned it earlier. Is it okay to eat unhealthy things if they're in your macro count? I would say yes. Let's add Laci.
Yeah. So they're really, I hate to use the term healthy and unhealthy because it's just so black and white. Food is food. Food is nourishment. It's going to nourish you, especially if it's in your macro count. If it's in your goals, go for it. I know there was this one study, and I love to bring this up. There was this one study a long time ago that tested the calories in, calories out argument of like, you can basically eat what you want as long as you're in a calorie deficit. So this one professor, I think he was at Stanford or Washington, he was at some school. He ate nothing but Twinkies, all the time, but he stayed in his calorie goal. He stayed in his calorie goal and ate nothing but Twinkies. Still lost weight.
And you can still lose weight.
And it's like, so don't harp too much on like the healthy, unhealthy, like bad, good, bad, good. As long as you're eating within your calorie range, you're hitting your macros, you're, getting all of the vitamins and minerals that you need. I wouldn't stress, too much. Oh, this is unhealthy, I can't eat it. Just, and everything in moderation is okay. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I would definitely say I would not. I hope like with this recommendation, well, with this what you call like a source that Laci just gave, please do not get your calorie count and eat it up in Twinkies.
Oh, please. Yeah, I'm not saying to eat nothing but Twinkies. No, please.
Please do not eat.
I'm pretty sure he was deficient in a lot of minerals.
Things, but like I like to say 80-20. Like try to get try to get a good balance between like good and bad. That way, like it's sustainable. Like so, if you want 80-20 will be example of like maybe you have grilled chicken here, grilled chicken there, then you got like a margarita midweek. A margarita here, a little pizza here and there, but it's not like then come the weekend, it's all pizza and margaritas.
Don't
80-20.
Don't stress it too much. And like I said earlier, it's all about sustainability. It's all about what you can keep up. So I definitely do agree with the 80-20 rule. Have that cheat day, give yourself that grace, give yourself that room to mess up and to eat, well, not mess up, but like to eat the things that you do enjoy. You don't have to always be, perfect every single day. That's definitely not something that we would want, because that's going to make it even harder. When you feel restricted, you're going to want to eat the food that you normally eat, that fast food. You're going to want to eat it even more. My mom used to tell me forbidden fruit's always more tempting. So
that's just like when I used to call you Laci, like I would call Laci and I was like, Laci, I don't know what's going on. Like I really just can't get right. Like I would tell her like it's like every time it's I tell her like every time I try to start doing, doing right, and then I try to like do good, then all of a sudden I fall off and I just want to eat up everything. And you're just telling me like if the more you give like thought into it, it kind of makes it worse. Like the more you kind of like obsess over it or like think about it too much, it kind of makes it even worse. And then like just trying to tell myself like you can't have this, but you can't have this. Or you only have this on this day. So then when that day come, I'm eating up everything.
You're eating it all up because you've been thinking about it all week long.
Okay, so one person said I have a problem with snacking and overeating. Baby, I do too. Me too. What are some good snacks you recommend that will satisfy your craving better than the Snickers or Reese's?
So definitely like some frozen yogurt. I know I always I'll recommend like frozen yogurt with frozen fruit, just so that it'll give you that sweetness without all of the extra, and you'll be getting your nutrients, vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff. What else are some good snacks that I can think of off the top of my head? I know Fiber One makes some really good like chocolate brownies. Yeah, the little brownies. They have fiber, which is going to keep you satiated, and it'll give you kind of that chocolate fix that you're looking for. Since you said Snickers and Reese's, popcorn. Someone asked about popcorn. Popcorn is good. Just watch that butter. But popcorn is a good snack as well. I've definitely
love popcorn, y'all.
I love some popcorn. I promise you, I will eat it every single day. Or if you really want to have that Reese's, like I'm True to Me said, get us little fun size, little snack size, little Halloween ones. I think those are probably like 100 calories or so. Just pop one of those. If you just really can't give up your Snickers or Reese's, just get the small size.
It's like 50 calories. Like the real small one. So even not saying do this because I have done this before. I went and got the little snack size Kit Kats instead of the really, really big ones. So like say for instance, I go in on a Kit Kat, it will still be less than if I would have had the big ones, so find ways to make the list, find ways to make it smaller. And one way, not to cut you out, Laci, but one way I know that helped me with with snacking and overeating is making sure that I eat like enough, like you said, enough protein throughout the day. That like having enough protein to kind of make you more like satisfied.
Yeah, protein definitely gives you that satiation. Protein and fiber. That's why I really recommend starting off your meals with that protein and fiber.
And somebody says, "Oh, that's what kind of any suggestion on a quick snacking before sleeping? Do like me, baby. Go to bed. I have to go to
literally
bed.
just
Go to bed.
just try to go to bed. And find something else to preoccupy yourself with. If that's maybe if you want to start reading before bed. Just find something else to occupy yourself. And if you just really, really need to snack on something healthy. Get some grapes. Get some, something similar to what you would actually want, if that makes sense.
Okay, this question says if you I have been getting this question a lot. So I really plan on making a video on YouTube, y'all, because my fitness pal have like this recipe. My fitness pal had like this recipe, what do you call it? A recipe feature on my fitness pal. So what I recommend with big meals, I try not to make meatloaf and big meals because it just takes too much time to do. But when you make it one time, you could use the recipe, like literally add all the ingredients in there. Or another thing you can do is find something similar to what you made. If you're a person like me, like I'm just real, I have to be super duper accurate. You know, but you can find something similar to it and kind of like give yourself that leeway, like log a little bit higher just in case you added a little bit more of this. But if you wanted to make a recipe, log everything, like literally everything down to the small ingredient and kind of write it down on a piece of paper in your kitchen so that when you make it again, you use the same measurements and you can stick to the same recipe. That would make it easier for you to log it in quickly and out.
Right. And you can use something like, MyFitnessPal, Calorie King, all of these other websites. Write down everything that you put in it and then log it in there one time, see what it is. And now you know for the next time. So just, measure it out, see however many, how much, what's in a
Like,
meatloaf? What's in I just look back on what's in
meal sometimes, but we ain't never made no meatloaf.
Mama hasn't made meatloaf in years, so I done forgot what's in a meatloaf.
Ground beef,
ground beef.
Ground beef, the tomato sauce. If you use tomato sauce, I know my mama used ketchup. She make hers from scratch.
If you use the canned tomato sauce, it should have all of that on there already.
You can log all that in there, and you just make a recipe. And I could really quickly show y'all really quick how it looks. So if you go to MyFitnessPal and you go to you go to the diary and you could click add food and then you just go to my recipes. So I have like a couple of recipes that you could use. But one thing I realized is once you create it, you can't like edit it. Or if you can, like if y'all found a way that you can edit it, let me know. But you really can't edit it. So that's why I say when you make it one time and you put all the ingredients in, write it down on a piece of paper and leave it in your kitchen. So when you make it again, you could just follow that recipe and it'll be the same thing in MyFitnessPal. And say if you want to make it as a meal prep, when you get ready to calculate it, say if you make a big meatloaf, you could say, oh, I want to split it up in 6 to 7 servings, and then this is a lot. But when you take it out the oven, what you do is you weigh it again and you divide that by 7, and that lets you know how much you will put in each one, and it will roughly give you the estimate of that. Yeah. Oh, I see one question.
I see a lot of really good questions.
Oh, do you use?
I promise y'all, we will get to y'all's questions. We might be skipping around, but I promise I see them, and I'm going to get to them because they're really, really good questions.
Yeah, Latia, you got it next time. Next time you gotta have it right. You use Premier Protein, Laci? Have you tried that before?
I usually use Fairlife.
No, we use Fairlife. I tried the Premier Protein. I like it. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really like it, and I'm real picky about the protein that I use. If it don't taste good,
yeah, I personally like the little Fairlife protein shakes. You guys might have seen them in the store before.
Sam's have them.
Yeah, Sam's has big packs of them. Dang, I wish I had a bottle.
I have a bottle. I'll go grab it really quick.
A bottle. But basically, they're low in sugar. They provide a lot of protein. And Fairlife is just a great brand that I really, really like because they have nice ingredients. They're lactose free. So if you're lactose intolerant, this one's for you, girlies. But yeah, they're lactose free. The milk is always really that one right there. Right there.
This it, y'all. Oh, I cannot get the camera. Okay, right here. 30 grams
of protein. Love that girl.
150 calories. Really, really good.
Love that girl. Love that girl. Love that girl. She's
this is our favorite.
And I think it's because there's no lactose in it. It doesn't upset like my stomach. I can just drink it and go about my day. Um, Love that, girl. And it has vitamins and minerals in it so that it'll replenish anything that you lost during that workout, like the sodium, potassium, all of that. I definitely recommend that. But really, just as long as the protein does what it needs to do for you, and it has like at least like 20 grams per serving, it'll be good. But just find one. Again, it's about sustainability. Find one that you like or that, tastes good to you. I know I like the vanilla one because I just like vanilla
Milk.
products. And
Yeah,
it tastes really, really good. And I can just drink them with no problem. Like I will drink them literally just on a regular day to day,
I don't
even
know,
if
it's that good. It kind of
it is so good to me.
Chick-fil-A. It kind of remind me of a Chick-fil-A shake. But when you try both, you probably like, nah, done. But that's what
It
that's what
tastes like a really good milkshake, and they
milk
have it in chocolate and strawberry, I believe.
strawberry.
But
Yeah.
no, it's just about finding what you think is yummy, what you think tastes good. I think someone said that they have a cake batter flavor
And
of
Premier,
Premier
Premier,
that tastes really good. So I mean, if you find something that you really like, yeah, the cake batter flavor of Premier is so good. Find what tastes good to you, and there's a variety of protein companies that make a variety of different. Like when I tell you, there are so many different flavors out there,
yes, my
and
protein. A lot of places do.
and also, another protein that I will kind of endorse is Women's Best protein.
I heard about it.
Yeah, I used to use Women's Best some years back, and it's really good. It has a lot of vitamins and minerals in it, especially for women's health, along with the protein. So I would definitely recommend that if there is women out there looking for a good protein source.
Oh yeah, so Premier taste strawberry milkshake flavor. Other flavors not the best. It has 30 kinds of flavors. So yeah, like go ahead. If you're in the chat, go ahead and drop like some of your favorite protein shakes so we can share those.
Everybody can share what theirs are. Yeah, I'm true to me. All of Fairlife's milks are lactose free. All
Good.
all of them are lactose free, and it's just a really good company. I've done some research on them, and they're a really good company. Also, don't be afraid of milk, guys. Don't be afraid of milk. I know there's been like this really big push in the media that milk is bad, milk is bad, milk is bad. It's not. Milk is great. It's a great source of calcium and vitamin D. Yeah, and fun fact, if you guys work out with Dawn or just work out in general, chocolate milk is the
Oh, yeah,
best.
you did tell me that.
Yeah, chocolate milk is the best post-exercise drink because not only does it have the right proportions of carbohydrates and protein, it also has that sodium, potassium, calcium, vitamin D, everything that you will need for post-workout. So definitely look into chocolate milk afterwards.
Fun fact, but Don ain't drinking no chocolate milk. They probably
And that's fine. And that's fine. If it's not for you,
my stomach so bad. But
peanut butter sandwich,
she have told me that a lot, y'all. So y'all definitely should try to. She said any particular brand of chocolate milk.
Not necessarily. Again, I'm a big fan of Fairlife, so I would definitely go for Fairlife.
Yep, with the cow on it, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, really just any chocolate milk.
Let's take two more questions. Ones that we have not already answered, because I know we answered a couple of these.
Let me see. I know there was a good one. Tracy Forrest asked about 3 minutes ago, what are your thoughts on fasting for health benefits and weight loss? So like I said earlier, it's best to eat kind of throughout the day just to keep your blood glucose up, to keep that satiety, all of that. I really don't recommend fasting just because whenever you fast, your body goes into survival mode, and it'll hold on to that fat even more. When you fast and hold, like if you fast or go these long periods without eating, it's going to hold on to that fat because it doesn't know when you're going to eat again. So it really isn't the best for weight loss. I mean, prolonged fasting obviously is going to cause weight loss, but just regularly fasting I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. And that's what we trying to tell people, like, if your goals, sometimes I guess it just depends, but like if your goals is to like lose weight, fasting, I wouldn't recommend fasting fasting or eating like in a very, very low calorie diet, because when your body go in that starvation mode, it's gonna hold on to everything that you're trying to lose. Like if you're trying to lose lose that stubborn belly fat, that's literally body fat that needs to be released. So starving will only make it stored because it don't like, I say, I tell people all the time, our bodies are meant to adapt to whatever it needs to adapt to keep us living and keep us moving. So when you put that brick wall in front of it, it's gonna do everything in its power to like keep you alive and keep you going.
Yeah, and it also slows down your metabolism because our bodies are still the same from, all the way back to what is it, like prehistoric days, to where people would go a very long time because they didn't know where they were gonna, like, where their next meal would come from because they were hunting, blah, 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 blah. So whenever you fast, your body's gonna slow down that metabolism. And if you fast for long enough, your hunger cues are even gonna turn off because it's like, okay, I'm not getting anything. So why am I telling this person that I'm still hungry? Your hunger cues are going to turn off. Your metabolism is going to slow down because it's trying to conserve energy. It just really is going to have the adverse effect. It's really going to do not what you want it to do. So I would definitely try to eat throughout the day, keep that blood glucose up, keep your metabolism moving, and then that'll kind of have the best effect as opposed to fasting. I want to get to Kayla C because I've seen she's asked this question a couple times. Do apple cider vinegar help? Not really. Like, are you talking about like the teaspoon of it a day? Because I know some people do like the teaspoon of it a day.
Yeah, probably most likely.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a big thing too. I remember that.
I remember like that really big. That really
burn my throat so bad. I'm like, oh, this cannot help me lose weight. I have to stop.
I know. I used to do that too. I'm not even gonna lie. I tried that too. My dad, I think, still does it. But just 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, it's going to really have a negligible effect. I mean, take it if you want to. It's not going to cause you any harm. But like for weight loss, if it's going to like boost any weight loss, like, no. It's kind of like a negligible amount, like how people say that spicy foods will make you burn more calories. Technically correct because the thermic effect of food. But it's such a small amount, it'll literally be like 5 calories. Yeah. So it, like, if it does help, it would literally be like a negligible amount, which is like 5 calories.
If it's Natasha said it's tough on your enamel too. So if you can't or drink, then use a straw. Baby, I ain't even use no straw. Maybe it's I feel like my teeth bad. I know I had seen, I don't be on TikTok, but a lot of people talk about this on TikTok, chlorophyll. Have you heard about that?
I have heard about chlorophyll. Not really gonna say much on it because I just don't know that much about it, so I don't really have much to speak on.
I've seen a lot of people talking about that. I didn't really go into much research on it as well. Oh, okay. So I want you to answer this, Laci, because I know you had went vegan for like a month, I think.
Not even a full month.
Let this be the last question right here, y'all. Laci went vegan for like,
oh my god.
So tell her like some of the ways you did protein, because she was coming up with some great recipes, y'all. She was cooking it up.
Girl, oh my god, it is so hard. First off, congratulations on starting your vegan journey. Yay for you. So when it comes to protein intake, you can definitely take a protein powder. I know I was doing protein powder. Just look on it and make sure that it doesn't have any dairy in it, because I know being vegan, you can't eat dairy. But also beans can be a really good source of protein. It's all about finding your complete proteins. And most plant products aren't going to have complete protein. So you have to like pair it with other things to make the complete protein. So I know like, what is it, like rice and beans, like a peanut butter. I know there are like certain combinations and they're escaping me right now. But I know beans for a fact are really good. They're a really good protein source and they have a lot of fiber in them. But what I will say about being vegan is to watch out for,
You about to say sodium?
Yeah, watch out for that sodium and just all of the vegan products that are like fake meat or like, what is it? Is it Morningstar?
Or Impossible?
Yeah, Impossible is not that bad. But like those frozen kind of meals that you would find in the grocery store, they're super, super, super processed, have a lot of other things in them, like a lot of sodium to keep the flavor. So just be aware of those and try to limit those as much as possible. Really try to get all of your food and your nutrients from real food as opposed to like a lot of the imitation stuff, because they can do a lot more harm than good, and they'll have like a lot of fat in them. And it'll kind of give you kind of that adverse effect. But definitely do some research on them, because I know especially with vegans, you can miss out on B12, which is primarily found in meat. So definitely look and do your research on those B12 sources, as well as how to make complete and incomplete protein. And if you guys want to message me on Instagram, I can definitely help you out with that, especially the B&M family. I can help you come up with some complete proteins that you can eat while vegan, especially if I didn't get to a question that y'all had today. DM me and I'll definitely get back to you and give you an answer.
Yes, baby. We're gonna leave all Laci's TikTok, Instagram. So if y'all want to go ask any extra questions, I will leave that all in the details below for y'all to go follow her, go show her some love. And I want to say thank you, Laci, for joining us today and giving your insight. Remember, y'all, I'm gonna leave her IG. I'm gonna leave that in the details below, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and tag it right now. It's Laci. What is it, Laci?
Laci0213.
That's her Instagram, and I'm gonna leave it in the details below the link. So that
hold on, how do I comment? I'll put my TikTok. I just made a TikTok, y'all. I just made a nutrition TikTok, and I'll be sharing a lot of evidence-based weight loss advice, as well as just some fun nutrition facts that are easily digestible, nothing too crazy, and everything that I say, I promise, has been research studied and is true. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not, endorsing anybody. I have
she's not pushing any product.
I have no bias whatsoever. So
what's the TikTok, Laci?
It's Laci. Can I type it? Can I comment?
Type it.
I don't think I can comment. But it's Laci the RD2B.
THE.
2 E's in the B. Like Megan Thee Stallion.
Laci the RDTOBE, right?
Laci, LACI THEE RD 2
okay. BE. 2BE. Okay, y'all. And I'm gonna definitely put all this in the details again below for y'all to go follow her on the platforms. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today, giving y'all some great, just thank y'all for being a great audience today and helping Laci. Laci is really shy, so I was excited.
Oh my God.
I was excited to get her on here because she knows so much information and she's around so many people that's giving her a lot of information. And remember, y'all, we don't know everything, literally nobody knows everything, but we constantly are researching. We're constantly reaching out to people, finding more ways to give more information. And so far, my girl know a lot, so she's came and shared what she know. And I hope that some of this information was very helpful to anybody, to everybody that listened in today. And with that being said, y'all already know the drill.
Thank y'all so much for the nice comments and the questions. Really appreciated it. And I will continue to learn about weight loss. My research right now, I'm doing a research project on urinary oxalate and weight loss. So if you have kidney stones, that one's for you. So I'm going to continue to learn, continue to try to help everybody. So again, if there were some questions that you still had on your mind that I wasn't able to answer today, definitely shoot me a DM on either TikTok, Instagram. I'll be making a nutrition Instagram here pretty soon with more information and stuff like that. But definitely reach out, use me as a resource, and I love to help people, especially when it comes to weight loss and general health. So definitely shoot me a DM.
All right, y'all. With that being said, y'all already know the drill. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Be Real with TheDawn Elizabeth. Come back and mess with your girl. Peace out.
Bye, y'all.